I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. Join, 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 with joy my heart is ringing.
It seems you're a puzzle.
I'm a lavatory attendant.
Not for some time. You were last employed at the public convenience in Stepney High Street from...
It's my profession. I may not always practice it, but that is a profession I profess and for which I have the qualifications.
Do you mind if I open a window? It's rather close in here.
Close?
Well, to put it perhaps a little impolitely,
I stink. You're not the first to have noticed it. There's a simple reason. I never change my clothes and I never wash. Open the windows by all means.
Thank you.
At Stepney, they used to send a man from the council offices to spy on me. Whenever he came, I would be occupying the end cubicle, just sitting and thinking about life. He reprimanded me. It was unproductive, he said, merely to think about life. The man was a barbarian, clearly.
Oh, clearly.
In any case, I was taking up space, he said, which might more suitably be occupied by ratepayers on urgent business. He said it would be more productive to polish the brass, scrub round the U-bends, or dust down the poster advertising treatment for venereal disease. The poster was, in fact, unreadable owing to the artwork which decorated it.
You have the qualifications, you say, for your chosen profession?
A failed B.A.
Yes. Well, it seems almost more than enough.
The profession suits me. Independence, a place of my own, somewhere to sit. Essentially, I am a thinker, probably one of the great thinkers, and one can't work and think. If I happen to find myself not thinking, I may wipe a tile or pull a neglected flush. But
the Ministry of Social Security has asked me to advise them what to do.
leave me alone would be the advice I should give.
Yes, it's a problem of categorization, really. If you're mad, you can be put away. If sane, put to work.
Ah, if only it were as simple as that.
And what would you say?
I am in a category by myself. The dirtiest man in the world. At least the title has never been challenged.
It's all right. I'll wait for him here.
I have no interest in traffic or machines. Yet if I walk among fields, I may be stopped for trespassing. If a barn catches fire, I may be questioned. If a house is burgled, I am searched. I used to come to town in winter.
To London?
To London, to town, to London town. I used to sleep under the arches. It's not permitted now. They have hostels for the homeless instead. I don't want hostels, they don't want me. Healthy, did prehistoric man need penicillin injections? No one has proved to me yet that modern antiseptics are any more efficient than cow dung if applied when warm.
Yes, you're not the only man to keep losing his identity card, of course.
Of course.
You're not the only one to refuse work.
I never refuse. I never actually say no.
You're not the only one to smell a little high.
A little.
You're not the only nature lover. In fact, you're not really the only one of anything. But you're certainly a very prime specimen. Which is why you've been sent to me for study. In your own malodorous person, you're a living denial of almost everything this government stands for. Without ever doing anything which would enable them to put you in prison or a home for the mentally subnormal, worst of all, you survive. I'm not sure how.
Natural foods. My diet is natural.
Grass, sometimes.
I have eaten grass. It's scouring.
As a professional lavatory attendant, that shouldn't bother you. In the Soviet Union, you'd have been tidied away into a labor camp. In Spain, nobody would bother much with you one way or another. And in India, you might be kind of a saint. But here, in England, in the 1980s, with a government genuinely devoted to the material good of its people, you and your kind, Mr. Dirtiest Man, you are thorns in the governmental flesh.
I have no kind.
You have. Everyone has. And if you haven't, one must be found for you. Because administratively speaking, there is no way of dealing with individuals. And it's my job to find that kind, advise how it may be dealt with, or at the least, taught to fit in. Thank you for coming to see me. I'd like to see you again next Wednesday at 6. Provided you keep the appointment, the police will leave you alone. You know, it's a pity you're a solitary man. I'd say that what you most need in your situation is a friend.
I'm back, as you see.
Yes, I do see that. For long?
As long as it takes to understand.
It's very nice here, you know. They're all very nice people here. It is visiting day, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that must be it. It really is nice to see you.
They told me you were dead.
Hmm? Oh, no. No, I'm not dead. That's wrong. I'm alive.
Could you leave here if you wanted to?
Yeah?
Well, they let visitors in, so it can't be too difficult to get out, and the walls don't look very high. I'm not suggesting it.
They wouldn't like it.
They'd punish you.
They wouldn't like it, so who needs to? I can... That's good. If you like it.
Tom, are you stoned?
I'm not smoking hash. You know that. I don't approve of it.
Does anybody smoke
They're
here?
all very nice people here, you know. They're all very interesting people here. They're all militants here.
Militants.
Yeah. Like me. I'm a militant. I am. They know. And that's all right. Do what you wanted. Say what you like. I'm a communist. Yeah, that's all right.
You're better off here, then?
I'm really well off here, you know. Because I can be myself here. I don't have to hide.
I don't think I want to come here again. I'll leave you my new telephone number. You can phone me if you need me.
It's like cell division. Like seeds blown in the wind. Do you remember at the cottage last summer, we found that oak seedling in the rockery? I said, what's that? Mr. Walker said it's an oak. Now, there was no oak tree for miles. No acorn. Some squirrel, or a rabbit, or a bird even, may have dropped it, and there it was, an oak in our rockery. Corned beers like that. I've missed you now.
Go on.
Well, there were a dozen of us at the beginning, but I don't know how many Cornbys there are now, or who they are, or where they are, and very few know me. There's no organisation. You see, a Cornby acts on his own, wherever he may be. Well, of course you're bound to get a few rogue ones, silly ones, self-publicisers like those Freedom Radio people, idiots. The first rule is that Cornby doesn't take credit for anything, and it doesn't do anything itself. It just organises the event and tidies up afterwards. That way there's no trail back. Not to Cornby anyway. Whether someone is caught doesn't affect me. There's only been one... Well, I'm always at risk, of course. I always have some fear.
There's only been one trail back to you.
Well, not a trail, exactly.
Just Wilf. And you killed him.
You know, I had to.
I know you said so. I saw Paula Hollis in Harrods the other day. She's dyed her hair. It doesn't suit her. She didn't realize my husband had arranged her husband's murder. That was you, I take it, or at least your...
Cornby, yeah.
Why?
Well, you know why. We spoke of it that night when we went to dinner there.
Because he was good, kind, efficient. Yes. Now, let me be quite sure I've got this clear. You personally killed Wilf because you were afraid he'd talk. That was in your personal capacity as a man, murder in self-defense. In your public capacity as a Quarmby, you helped to kill Jeff Hollis because he was good. What sort of a murder was that? Remind me.
Well, you know that, too.
I said, remind me.
If a terrorist organisation wishes to bring down a government, it must strike first at those ministers who are most popular and most humane. In the end, no government can be overthrown until a majority of the government wishes to overthrow it. Acts of terrorism provoke countermeasures, which will alarm, harm, or at the least inconvenience ordinary people. Those countermeasures will be most immoderate if it's the moderate members of the government who have been removed.
Murdered.
Yes. Look, do you think I don't lie awake at night sometimes dreaming about the people who've been killed?
Don't feel sorry
do you?
for yourself, Frank. It's despicable in the circumstances. Well, you've explained your organisational absence of it. And how you work and what you do, which is killing innocent people so you can provoke the government into killing more innocent people. It's all a contribution to the quality of life,
Oh,
I
look,
suppose.
Eleanor,
But
don't
what
practice
you
your
haven't
irony and
explained-
condescension
what
on me.
you have not explained is why. You're not political. You've never been political. And as far as I can see, you don't want to be king or anything.
We don't want anyone to be king, Eleanor. Anyone at all.
Maybe somebody has to.
Nobody has to. Anyone who thinks they have to, even Tim Hobson, will end up with the Guardians, using them, being used by them, because people aren't children. They don't exist just to be told what to do.
I've heard you say they are children.
Oh, no. They may behave childishly. That's different. There's a child in everyone.
Yes.
And an animal, too. But people are more than just the child and just the animal. You know, being a human being, it's quite a difficult thing to be. Being a human being is learning to govern yourself. Your own passions, your own anger, your own selfishness, your own fear. It is not being governed for your own good. Look, I know enough about myself now to know how much of a child there is in me. Just wanting to pull down what someone else has built up. You don't have to tell me that. I recognise that. And I know that there may be a lot of that in Quarmby, too, in all that Quarmby does, just a desire to pull things down. But I do believe, I really do believe, that this organisation, that this government is wrong, that Tim Hobson is wrong, that the Guardians are wrong, and that when you deny people the right to choose, you make them less than human. Well, I'm trying not to sound pompous. You always tell me I'm pompous.
Have you any discarded vegetable produce of some succulence and high protein value?
For you.
Oh, thank you.
You have an interest in rubbish?
No, an affinity. I'm selecting my quarters for the night. There's warmth in cabbage.
Won't it all be cleaned up?
Allow me. At this hour, the dustmen of North Kensington are enjoying their second cup of tea in the canteen. No cigarette packet, no stalk of cabbage, no rubber protective, no billy-do is lifted from the streets of North Kensington after 4 in the afternoon. I shall do well enough here.
But I thought you had quarters for the night.
You refer to the hostel?
Yes.
I prefer more natural surroundings. Besides, there's a communal bath at the hostel. I am a modest man. Communal bathing is an offense against modesty. You've been following me.
Yes.
You did so obviously you wanted me to know it.
Yes.
Are you a social worker?
No.
A plainclothes policeman, perhaps? I have sometimes been followed by policemen.
I've sometimes been followed by sailors when I was a young lad. They didn't want me to join the Navy. You never bothered by rats?
I have an affinity for rats also. even a fondness.
They're hard to like.
Not for me. We have the same ways.
You bite then.
Bite,
Well, rats have teeth. And you?
gums. My teeth, when I had them, were sweet teeth, so they decayed easily. If you are not a social worker or a policeman, what are you?
My name's Quarmby. I'm a friend.
Of whom?
Of whom I like, of whom likes me. Or needs me.
My needs are modest.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They may be hard to get these days. Has it occurred to you that you're a specimen?
Someone said a specimen for study. The word has been used of me today.
And what happens to specimens? As a general rule.
Do I understand you?
Think about it. Think on. We'll meet again.
I'll bring the children back tomorrow. I shall want to know everything from now on. Everything you're doing. I won't be lied to.
I'm not sure that you should come back.
Why? So you can do what you want, have whom you like, bring them
Oh,
here.
look, I told you I missed
You
you.
never came to see me. You never phoned. You knew where I was.
I didn't know what to say. Look, you know bloody well there hasn't been anyone else. I do love you now.
That'll do for a start.
I feared for you.
I feared for you. We'll go to bed first. And I make some tea.
I wanted to share a room. Yes, share. The drug's intended to reverse his usual pattern of behavior. Now, by nature, he's a solitary man. Well, he doesn't like people. In fact, he prefers rats to people. Now, one of the ways in which we can observe a change in him is to put him in the company of some other person and see if he develops the ability to form a relationship. Yes, exactly. There is a problem, however. He has rather a strong smell. Now, we don't want to wash him. He's been washed in the past. He doesn't like it. Well, you'll have to find him a roommate who doesn't notice his smell.
You ought to be sent away to a rehabilitation center. They'll rehabilitate you.
How do you know these things?
Devices, I have devices. I live on the underside of the law and get my information deviously.
How can I be sent? Legally. I have committed no crime.
You'll agree to go.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, they'll take you into care.
I need no care.
But mine, I care for you. Why did you fail your BA?
I was a scholar at my college. I recited the Latin grace before meals. At the end of 3 years, in common with many others, in a high state of anxiety, I was to endure a week of examinations. I looked at the first question paper, the Anglo-Saxon paper, and decided that no one had the right to ask me such questions, and left the hall. They failed me.
So you don't lack intelligence, but merely application. It's good.
You're keeping me up.
If you wish to avoid rehabilitation, I can tell you how.
I have been rehabilitated before. Offers of employment, food. I have sung hymns in the Salvation Army Social Center for bread and jam. It doesn't go. I am as I am.
But if they tried drugs... You'll remember that the word specimen has been used. They'll use you to test a new drug.
But if
Now listen carefully and try not to interrupt. Your behavior is socially undesirable. For others like you, tramps, drifters, thinkers, you would say. Isolated people who give nothing to society while they can and become a burden as they grow old and helpless. Now, the government doesn't like that. It doesn't know what to do with you as you are, and so you must be changed. Become happy and socially useful. This new drug will change you. You'll begin to form relationships with other human beings. You'll develop ambitions. You will actually want to wash. Your thoughts will become constructive instead of...
universal. I shall gain soap and water and lose the world.
Yes.
What shall I do?
The drug will be in your food.
Refuse to eat. I have gone without food before, in leaner times.
Solution is neater. Everyone at the rehabilitation center is drugged, though they don't, of course, know it. Now, their problem is the opposite to yours. Intransigent, resolute, ambitious, aggressive. Men who might have tried to organize resistance to our kindly and paternalistic government. They've not been shot, they've not been brutally imprisoned, they've merely been changed into tractable, meditative, contented and uncompetitive people. They've taken on, in fact, many of your characteristics. Now, the drug used in their case is cannabis, administered as yours would be in food. Delicious casseroles and stews, shepherd's pie, moussaka. This is always a choice at the center.
My meals, then, would have to be served separately.
Exactly. As to feed you cannabis would merely intensify characteristics you already have. Your drug, the new drug, has the opposite effect. My guess is that you'll eat in your room and that you will have a roommate. You follow me?
I am ahead of you.
Persuade him, deceive him, do what you will. But change the plates. Let him be their specimen.
He will be changed.
Need that concern us?
You wish him to escape, I take it. Well, as you say, that need not concern me. My problems may be yours, but yours are not mine.
You are intelligent. Almost more than is necessary.
I've been thinking about the twins. I think we should send them away.
Where?
There's your brother in Canada.
Why don't you go with them?
Don't be a fool, Frank.
The other people at the centre are under some constraint. They're not allowed to leave till the medical authorities decide they're fit to do so. Now, since none of them actually wants to leave, this is no great hardship. However, they are not voluntary patients. You would be.
If I volunteer.
If you volunteer. Now, the only constraint on your freedom would be that you should sleep at the centre and take your evening meal there. They give you a packed lunch too, I imagine, if you wanted one.
You place some emphasis on food.
No, I don't think so. Most hospitals feed their patients. You're not a vegetarian.
No, I eat meat. Meat is a natural food for man.
Good. Now, if you agree, we'll require you to spend at least a month there. Do you agree?
What will they do to me?
Feed you, care for you, talk with you, observe you.
I agree.
Thank you for coming to see me. I'm sure you made the right decision.
Where do I sign?
No, there's no need. The whole of this interview and the previous one have been recorded, and your tapes will be sent to the centre with the other records. Well, thank you again. This is an intelligent man, in spite of his outward appearance. He shouldn't be underestimated. All surveillance should be discreet. Please note in particular his remark about the emphasis laid on food. Any food he's given to eat should be strongly flavored and tasted before he gets it to make sure the presence of the drug can't be detected. Tape ends at 15:31 hours.
If you want to watch television, you know, we can go into the lounge. We always go into the blue lounge. That's because we're blues. Greens always go to the green lounge. But if we want to, you know, we can ask some of the greens to come to the blue lounge. And they can ask some of us to go to the green lounge. We're having our dinner in here tonight, otherwise we'd be dining in the blue dining hall. Greens always dine in
Das
the...
Kapital.
Huh? It's because I'm a communist. I always say, you should have made me a pink, not a blue. And everybody laughs. We're always making little jokes here, I don't think of them. Yes, I can have any book I want. Marx, Lenin, Engels, Golan. Do you like Edgar Rice Burroughs? Some of these are first editions.
I seldom read. I prefer my own thoughts to the thoughts of other people. There are bars over the window.
Well, one of those bars comes out. Let me show you. This one. See? Must have forgotten to mend it. Come in. I've just been showing him the bar.
Better put that back, you might fall out. You did order goulash.
Yes.
And it's hamburger for you, Tom, rare.
Yes. I love raw hamburgers. You know, lots of people from working class origins, they don't like raw meat. Not me. I love it.
Cider
Oh,
tonight?
this cider is really great. It's really marvellous, this cider. Your mouth gets very dry in here, you know. I think it's the central heating.
There are pyjamas under your pillow.
I prefer underwear, my own.
Suit yourself. Tom will show you the bathroom.
I don't take baths.
Well, I expect you like to spend a penny, though, from time to time.
I may visit the lavatory later on for the purposes of meditation.
You do that. I'll be back in a minute with your pudding.
Oh. Wait.
Now, eat it before it gets cold.
Well, don't you want any?
What?
Your dinner, don't you want it?
Yes. Yes, I do. I wonder, do you like goulash?
Oh, goulash is great. It's absolutely marvellous, a goulash.
It's just that, seeing you cut into your hamburger, suddenly I felt the desire for red meat.
When your meat's red, they put paprika on it.
Raw meat. Bloody.
Right, try a bit.
Delicious, quite delicious.
Have another bit.
Do you really think I might?
Go ahead.
You must try some of my goulash. Really, I insist.
You don't have to insist, not with goulash. It's great. Absolutely marvellous. Mmm. 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 I like the way you smell.
You like it?
It's good. It's good. It's strong.
Dear me, I mean to be finishing all your hamburger.
We have to kill him, I suppose.
Your dirtiest man? Well, of course we do. He's far too intelligent to be allowed to survive.
I just wondered.
But he's seen me. He's met me. We spoke. If they put him under a truth drug, it'll all come out. Killing him won't be any trouble. He's quite isolated. A dirty man like that, you just roll him up in a few dead leaves at the bottom of a ditch. Won't be found for months.
Two 4609. Yes, I am, but please don't ring me. Chris, don't ring me. Blast you, you've got a job of your own to do. I've told you I don't want to see you, yet I've got to work out how I feel. Oh, sod.
29, 30, 31. Have you ever noticed how many hairline cracks there are on this ceiling?
42. Unless you count them as one continual crack.
I have to thank you for arranging my visit to Tom.
Oh, anyone's allowed to visit the centre. Any relatives? Some wives moving.
No. They're doing something to him, aren't they?
You know I can't answer that.
I could have sworn he was stoned.
He's been through a very difficult experience. They may have put him under heavy sedation.
I'm sorry. It is funny. I've never really liked you, but I've always believed you told the truth.
I fancied you at times. That may have put you off.
Maybe I don't go in for casual affairs.
I do. Did. Have done.
I thought once I fell in love, it was forever. Then Tom died and I fell in love again. Now I discover he's alive. I've rather gone off love.
Will you keep coming to see me?
You.
How about your migraines?
I don't have migraines now. If I'm looking strained, it's because I can't sleep. My phone keeps ringing.
And you don't answer it?
Not anymore.
Oh, I think you should. Well, it might be anybody.
Eat your omelette.
No,
Why not? Omelettes are good for you, said so yourself.
I don't care.
Tell me why not.
What's that? Oh, you haven't finished your dinner. Well, there's no pudding till you finished your dinner. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
I think you've got something to tell me.
I never intended to keep it a secret. You were bound to become inquisitive. Please, do try and finish the omelette, if you can.
She says she's not answering the phone.
I know it. I'll go round tonight.
If he's escaped already, the G's will be
If
waiting.
he's escaped already, I'd have heard. But don't ask questions, Frank. Just take it, I'll know. He won't be such a fool as to go home. But the first thing he'll do when he's out is to telephone his wife. And he'll make the break by night, partly because it gives him more time, and partly because she'd be at work during the day.
He's gone then?
Yes.
Oh, well.
You've come to kill me, is that it?
No manner of speaking of her.
I thought that might be it.
Answer, damn you, answer.
(194-6325).
Hello, could I speak to Mr. Quarmby, please?
Cornby speaking. He's escaped, has he?
Yes.
Wrap up warm and carry your suitcase down to the corner of Oakley Street and the Embankment. You'll be picked up within 15 minutes.
He's hiding in the Savernake forest. He hasn't any money. And
Clothes?
yes, he's wearing some things he took from his roommate. They're not very clean, but they help to disguise him.
If he does what you've told him, he'll be hiding in the trees. You get out. I'll be driving because we lose the driver at Reading. I drive off and leave you alone together so you can make sure it's not a trap. And come back in 10 minutes, see how you're getting on.
Who put you in a cage? Foolish question. You put yourself in as I did, and once in could not get out. Shall I release you? Of course I shall. It puts all heaven in a rage to see a rattling in a cage. Wait. You may be weak with hunger. If you are weak, when you return to your friends, they would kill you. So, rattling, I shall feed your face and feed my own at the same time. What have we here? Ah, half a sandwich. Banana. Hello? Ah, Mr. Weston. Have you come to share the feast?
You followed me here. You ran away.
It seemed wisest.
I thought you liked that place.
The vibrations became hostile. My clothes don't suit you.
Yeah. You must be pretty cold, I think.
I have been colder. Apple cores.
Were you sent to meet me here?
No, I came for food and perhaps some clothing. This blanket is clearly institutional and therefore stolen. On the other hand, I once found a discarded rug in a litter bin. Rather a vulgar tartan, and someone had been sick on it, but I wore it very comfortably as a shawl until it fell to pieces.
My instructions were to be here, 6 o'clock, ready to be picked up.
By whom?
Why, don't you know?
No, I told you. I'm here for breakfast. Raffy.
Somebody from the party, I suppose.
It was the party, was it, that arranged for me to change plates with you?
Who else would want me out?
I only met the one man, a Mr. Quarmby. You don't know him. He seemed to have your welfare at heart. My welfare, as it turned out, was of secondary importance to him. I was expendable to Mr. Quarmby. Like these excellent carrot tops. Yet there was still much good in me. I should like to meet him again. Trap for vivisection. What kind of a man would you say uses live animals for his experiments?
It's progress. Can't stand still.
My father knew a farmer who caught 4 rats and hung them up side by their tails in a barn. At the end of 3 days, there was only 1 rat left. Upside down as he was, and starving, by thrusting himself sideways, he had managed to kill and eat the others. Then the farmer cut him down and let him go. Soon there were no more rats in the farmyard. Our upside-down rat had developed a craving for rat flesh.
You seem to know a lot about rats.
We share some of the same tastes and habits. This looks like your friend now.
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Tom? Tom?
It's not a trap, then?
No.
Who's he?
I don't know. His name's Quarmby.
Party member?
I don't know.
Well, don't I get a kiss? I mean, after all, we are man and wife.
Just feels a bit strange.
That's because it's been a long time. You've really gone off, haven't you? You used to be red hot for me.
Now you're like a piece of cold battered pudding. What's the matter, Claire?
I thought you were dead. Should I get you a pill?
No, I like that dirty man. He was one of the few well-balanced people I've ever met. He'll be dead by now.
Didn't you like the old man? The father, the one who killed Jeff Hollis?
Well, it's different. His life is already over in most ways.
And Jeff himself?
She's on their side.
And Wilf? My Wilf?
I was frightened.
So was he.
I didn't hurt him. I do dream of him sometimes. Sitting there, waiting for me to kill him. When I was a boy, we had a cat. Thomas. He was my cat. He used to wander rather a lot. One night, I had a sort of a noise at the door. When I opened it, there was Thomas. I picked him up, but he had sick all down his front, so I dropped him again, hit him, closed the door. Turned out later he'd been all ripped up by a dog. It wasn't sick, it was his intestines. I dream of Thomas, too. Wilf and Thomas. I'm not a coward, love.
You remember those Freedom Radio people?
Hmm?
I helped to catch them. A couple of teenagers got involved. They didn't know what their father was up to. Just messing around with a lot of radio equipment in a back garden. And the G's got to them. After a rather long time, they died. My godfather got to hear about it and told me. I came back to you the day after.
You never told me.
No. I don't like what you're doing either. But we're in this now, and the twins are safe. We'll play it through, Frank. Now I know you're human.
First things first.
Are you a party member?
A sympathiser. Well, things have changed since you were put inside. There's a united front, people of all sorts who dislike the government, working together.
And what are you?
A weak-kneed milk and water liberal.
I didn't mean personally. I meant, what's your organisation?
Similar people, we work where we can do most good. Rather like Christian Aid, it's multi-denominational.
So, you'll pass me on, is that it?
Not immediately. There's a job to be done. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you.
What job?
The Guardians Brigade HQ at Redditch. We thought it might be rather jolly to blow it up. Exploded?
Yeah?
Now, you've never been at Redditch, so with luck you wouldn't be recognised. But you have been a G, Captain Weston, and you know your way about. Mrs. Weston's brought your uniform. It's in the suitcase.
I'd need confirmation from a party member.
Do please try not to be unreasonable. Your own contacts in the Communist Party don't exist anymore. For obvious reasons.
I never
What do you remember of your first week in captivity? You tried to commit suicide and you failed. What drugs were pumped into you during that week? What names came spilling out? So you don't remember, you can't remember. The mind has its own merciful mechanisms to blot out what we daren't remember.
Please.
Now, I'm sorry, he has to know.
How do you know? About me?
I have friends, people I work with. I tell you plainly, it's better for everyone that you shouldn't know more names than you need. Which is none.
So, I take all the risks, and your organisation gets all the credit, isn't it?
No, we're not interested in credit. Because if you want to put a party label on the job for what it's worth as propaganda, you're free to do so. But my friends are more modest. We just don't like the G's.
Yeah, I'm tired.
We'll rest afterwards. Move on afterwards. I told you I had some contacts. But until the job's done, even the party won't want to know you.
I don't like it. There's something wrong.
Plenty of time. Shall we have a cup of tea? You'll feel quite differently, I assure you, come this evening.
I wish you'd stop doing that.
My mouth feels funny. I've got quite an appetite.
It's nearly ready.
You said he'd be back by 7:30.
It's only mince. It'll keep.
Look, I don't want to wait. I want my dinner now. Oh, sorry. Sorry about it. Don't do very well.
You look a bit off.
Don't feel well.
You're sweating. Tom?
I don't know.
Me.
I don't know.
Tom's ill.
Is he? Oh. He doesn't look well. And I'm not late.
What's that got to do with it?
Where?
He's not due for this until at least 8. It's all that running about in the woods. Too much excitement. Have you been thinking about that job I suggested? Pondering over it?
What have you done to me?
Poison. Why?
Not poison. More the absence of it. I'd like you both to realize that what he feels now is only the beginning. It could get much worse. You give him this. A little water to help it down.
What is that pill?
I don't know what it's called. It's a new drug. He's been taking it every night at about this time, always in food. Quite wipes out the effect of cannabis, doesn't it, Captain Weston? Restores all those heroic qualities. Courage, dedication, ruthlessness. And the trouble is, it's ferociously addictive. And you're hooked. You'll need 1 tablet every evening, and only I can supply it. You feeling better now? You'll notice I have only 1 pill with me at a time. So violence, like flattery, will get you nowhere. So, shall we begin talking seriously about that demolition job?
Get him out of here.
I'll have my supper in the car. I can't bear unpleasantness.
Is there a cure?
Well, there's always a cure.
When it's done the job?
Will be the time to talk of it. Here. I'll do the talking. Can I help?
Me? You have done so much already.
I'm surprised to see you.
Then you still have my welfare at heart.
Of course.
Then you will not grudge me this.
What an unfortunate occurrence.
I'll take my clothes if you still have them.
The drug! Yes, your dilemma had not escaped me. Paper. I wish your job to be satisfactorily completed. Telephone this number. If a man answers, you will say, This is Mrs. Quarmby speaking. Repeat it.
This is Mrs. Cornby speaking.
My husband has had a fatal accident.
My husband is... What happens if a man doesn't answer?
Keep ringing. Oh, if ever I used foul language, I might be tempted to do so now. Oh, sod.
My husband has had a fatal... But I know this number.
The rat had developed a taste for rat flesh, you see.
I know this number.